Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are dealing with complex equations, okay? Or should I say rational equations. We are solving for a variable today, okay? Hint, hint. We have our example up in the board. It kind of looks a little complicated. It's not that it's very complicated. I will say this, guys. It's a little lengthy, okay? Obviously, today we're starting with something very basic. Next class, we're going to get it more advanced, okay? So, we have 1 over n equals 1 over 5n minus 1, or n minus 1 over 5n, okay? Like I said, we are starting with very, very basic ones. So, all we have to do today, okay, is solve for that variable. The way we solve for that variable is, notice that I made it simple. We already have the same denominator on one side, okay, the same denominator. So we're not going to focus on this yet. This is going to stay the same. So we're going to have 1 over n equals 1 minus parentheses, because remember this whole one set, n minus 1 over 5n. Since when dealing with fractions, same denominator, 5n. Okay? Notice that whenever you have something like this negative, there's a 1 there. Okay, so negative 1 times n, negative 1 times negative 1. Again, we're not going to do anything on this side of the equation. So we have 1n, or 1 over n, equals, the 1 for now stays, the first one. Now negative 1 times n is minus n. Negative and negative, make it positive, plus 1 over 5n. Okay? Notice that, again, we're still not dealing with this side, okay? We're going to have 1 over n equals, keep in mind, guys, we have a number that is positive and another number that is positive. I personally always like to put the variable first. So we have negative n, 1 plus 1, positive 2 over 5n. Because remember, we had the same denominator since the beginning. Okay? Now that we are here, okay, there's nothing more we can do at this side right now. Now we're going to deal with also this side as well. We're going to get rid of the denominator here, okay, of the denominator. So in order to get rid of the denominator, we have to do what is known as the inverse of it, okay? If you really look at it, if we're dealing with the number on the bottom, it's technically known as 1 over 5n. So the opposite is going to multiply by 5n over 1. It's its inverse. The same thing on the other side. You're going to have 5n over 1, okay, times. That means that the 5n and the 5n cancels out. When you have anything over 1, it's just technically the same thing. On this side, on the other hand, if you notice, a few contests ago, we canceled out things that were the same. We're going to cancel out the n, and we're going to cancel out the n. Okay, so we have 5 times 1 over 1. Technically, anything over 1 is just itself. So 5 times 1 is just 5. So we have 5 equals, again, negative n plus 2, again, over 1, which is itself. So we really don't need the other one, the over 1 on the bottom. So we're left with 5 equals negative n plus 2. If we're solving for n, we have to get rid of the constant. Okay, get rid of that number next to n. next to the variable. Again, the opposite of positive 2 is minus 2 to move it to the other side of the equal sign. So we have 5 minus 2 equals 3, which equals whatever's left over, because the 2 is no longer there, negative n. Since there's a 1 in front of the n that is negative, remember the opposite of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by negative 1 on both sides. So n equals 3 divided by negative 1, which positive divided by negative, it's negative, so your answer is negative 3. So we plug in negative 3 into each one of these equations, they'll cancel each other out to make one solution, okay? Meaning whatever solution you get here, you get the same solution on the other side of the equal sign. All right, so make sure you write it down. Like I said, it's not that it's very complicated, it's a little lengthy, okay? Make sure to write everything I have on the board. I'm gonna step out here out of the screen for a second. All right, now that you have all these notes, okay, now that you have this written down, I'm gonna go ahead and give you one to work out by yourselves, okay? All right, the one I'm gonna give to you guys is 3 over m squared. We use the other black one. Equals m minus 4 over 3m squared plus 2 over 3m squared. Okay? Again, it's similar to the one I did on the board for you guys. Okay, I want to see if you guys understood it. Okay, make sure you submit your answers as soon as you're done watching the video, and I'll be waiting for your email.